It's spring. And I'm so happy Ami is back when she said she was coming back because I knew there'd be a whole room full of people that I haven't seen for more than a year. And I get to reconnect because we love it so every month, this group, right? And so I've been thinking about this happiness and everybody thinks I'm a little over the top with happy sometimes, but that's because I made it a decision. And happiness is a choice. And when we know that we have the power to make that choice each day, what can I do to make myself happy? We are empowering ourselves to make it happen. So instead of having a to-do list, we all have lists of things that need to be done, but when it's on the to-do list, lots of times it's like a should list, and we don't get it done. So I've learned how to play this trick with my mind, and I call it outfoxing myself. So instead of saying clean the kitchen or clean out the car, I say, I love... Did you get that? I love driving a clean car. So that gives me the visual and the emotional feeling like, yes, I love it when my car is clean. I want a clean car. So it just like then happens easily. Or I want a sparkling clean kitchen. It's different than writing down, clean the kitchen, clean the car, You shift to how can I make myself happy? It's going to make me happy to have a sparkling clean kitchen. And I can do it in 15 minutes. But if we don't think of it that way, it just becomes something that we go, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. And I had an opportunity, when you were talking about think of something that made you happy recently. And the thing that made me happiest recently, how many of you follow me on Facebook? I know there's, you make my heart happy when you do that. Thank you. And so some of you know that I had to face congestive heart failure last year. And that's pretty scary. And for 3 years, I was losing energy and I had real shortness of breath and I was scared. And I remember taking my little dog out for a walk, and I used to walk her 10, 15 blocks a day, and it was getting shorter and shorter. It was getting to a half a block a day. And I said, God, how can I do the work of inspiring and empowering other people when I'm losing my energy? You gotta help me out of this. But until you really know what it is, you don't know what to do to change it. So, thank God, I finally ended up in the hospital because I had been going to doctors, but they couldn't give me, they couldn't say, well, it's this, until I overdid it and took 2 back-to-back flights and went to places where there was high intensity and high energy and high humidity. And when I got home from the second flight, I ended up in the hospital. So what makes me happy about that? You're wondering, is this going down a slippery road someplace I don't want to listen to? No, what made me happy about it is once I found out what the diagnosis was, it's like, all right, I can turn this around. Totally believing that all the right people will be attracted into my life, all the right opportunities. So I prayed for exactly the right heart doctor, because some of them are very procedure oriented, as I found out. I heard somebody say, oh no, don't go to that one. He'll have a heart cath in you in a minute. And so I prayed for exactly the right heart doctor. And I was referred to Dr. Port. And it turns out that he's very, very busy and one of the best doctors in the city. And so somebody said to me, oh, you'll never get in with him. He's too busy. And so this was on a Friday that I ended up, needing a cardiologist. And so I thought, okay, on Monday morning, I'm going to call his office at 9:15 in the morning. Not 9 o'clock, because they're taking all the messages from the weekend. At 9:15, I'm going to call. And if he's the right doctor for me, I'm going to get in with him. And sure enough, I called at 9:15, and the woman says, well, we can't get you in for 4 to 6 months. And I went, oh no, I need him this week. And she said, oh no, he is so busy and he's so fabulous that you can't get in. And then while she was on the phone, she said, wait a minute, we just had a cancellation for tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Can you be here? I'll take it. Yes. Yes. So what has continued to make me happy is I took this bad thing. I mean, my father died from heart problems, and my mother died from heart problems. You know, how many have had people with heart problems in their family? Okay, and it usually is. They keep going down, they keep going down. I called in all the forces. I'm listening to healing music every single day, and it's a special frequency that they make this, and I lay down and I tell every cell in my body, you are beautiful and you are vital, and you know how to heal yourself. You were born perfect, and you can restore me to perfect. And so I do that for an hour every day, and I'm reading all the books about heart health, and I've attracted clients who are nurses and doctors, and so they're all filling me with great information. So my biggest happiness was last week when I went for another, or 2 weeks ago, when I went for another echocardiogram. And one of the things they found out was I have 2 heart valves that weren't working right. One wasn't closing all the way and one wasn't opening all the way. So it was more than just, it was serious. I have increased the heart valve function by 25% in 6 months. Thank you. So what has kept me happy over the last 6 months, because I completely changed my diet and all kinds of hard things, but I just looked at it as a challenge. I'm going to overcome this. I don't care what they say that, most people end up in the hospital again. And a really exciting thing that happened is the assistant of my cardiologist is now a new client of mine. She's here tonight. That's Linda. And it turned out she was so ready for this kind of information, for all the alternative healing things that I'm doing, that she was like, I want to know more about this. I want to help clients who come in here more in bigger ways. So I took a really bad situation that I had watched lots of other people die from or become really immobilized in their life, and I turned it around, and I lost 40 pounds. Yes. And I'm feeling healthier and happier than I have in 5 years. Thank you. More to come next time. So I do a talk on 28 ways to get happy in a hurry. But it's usually half hour or 90 minutes. So I'm just handing it out to you because I just wanted to share some fun stories. But these are ways that you can get happy every day by claiming your power and saying, what can I do to make myself happy today? That's empowering. So rock on. And I brought a few of my books. This is Mirror, Mirror. I traveled Europe for 3 years alone, telling my banker to only let me have $1,000 a month. So how can you make yourself happy on $1,000 a month? This book is full of all the stories of how I traveled through countries where I didn't meet anybody who could speak my language, but it's overcoming fears and overcoming challenges and learning how to have a happy time on $1,000 a month. So if you need a little inspiration and don't have the money or time to take off to Europe, this is a fun book. Anybody read it? Yes. Did you enjoy it? It's a romp, isn't it? Okay. Thank you all.